Jurassic World Dominion takes place 4 years after Isla Nublar has been destroyed. Dinosaurs now live and hunt alongside humans all over the world. This fragile balance will reshape the future and determine once and for all whether human beings are to remain the apex predators on a planet they now share with history's most fearsome creatures. Before we get into this, don't forget to hit that like button down below and hit subscribe if you haven't already. I'd also like to know, are you excited for Jurassic World, or if you've seen the movie, what were your thoughts on it? Weigh in with those down in the comments below. Thanks to the team at Universal Pictures, I spoke with both director Colin Trevorrow and star DeWanda ahead of the movie's release. If you want to check those out, you can click through the link above or at the end of the video. Jurassic Park is one of my favourite franchises of all time. I was like 3 years old when the first movie came out. Don't worry, I wasn't that young when I watched it. I came around to it a little bit later in life. I was like 9 or 10 years old. But ever since then, I have just been such a huge fan of this franchise. Of course, I love all of the Jurassic Park movies, even Jurassic Park 3. But of course, the first one is absolutely the best. The first Jurassic World, I really liked. The second one, I really disliked. Didn't like it at all. So I had a little bit of trepidation going into this one, Jurassic World Dominion, because of my kind of mixed feelings on the second one, but also, you know, this is a Jurassic Park movie. So I was still very excited to get into the cinema and check this one out, because who doesn't love going to the cinema and seeing one of these films? Big, bombastic action-adventure flick with dinosaur battles, and of course this time round we've got the added bonus of our legacy characters coming back, all of them. Not just Jeff Goldblum, but we got Sam Neill and we got Laura Dern in the mix this time round as well. It's a movie that just seemed like a dream come true. It's a movie that seemed too good to be true, but was it? Well, I have to say, from the top of this, that I really love Jurassic World Dominion. I'm so happy. Now, even though I didn't like the second one at all, the one thing I will say about it is that even though I left that cinema going, I did not like that movie, I liked how the movie ended. I liked how it had this open end about, well, now the dinosaurs are out in the world, humans and dinosaurs have to coexist kind of in a real world situation. I loved that idea, and I loved how many possibilities that could open up for narrative storytelling. Since walking out of that cinema, I was like, well, I'm excited for the third one because I like this change of direction. I like where this can kind of take us. And I will say that I'm really happy because this movie has paid off on everything that kind of the end of Jurassic Park 2 or Jurassic World 2 kind of promised us. This is, of course, a movie now where the dinosaurs are out in the real world and we're kind of coexisting with humans. It opens with, it opens up the possibilities to do some stuff that the franchise has never done before. I would have to say that there is probably franchise best moments in here. You've seen that clip in the trailer where Chris Pratt's Owen is riding a motorcycle through the streets of this town and there are just dinosaurs chasing after him. You see a little glimpse of that in the trailer, but man, that is just one of the coolest scenes in any of these movies, particularly when you see it on the big screen. You get lots of really great dinosaur fights in here too. It's probably the best of the franchise. I don't want to spoil too many of them, but you've got some really super mega dinosaurs going at each other in this one. And not only do we have legacy characters coming back, but we've got legacy dinosaurs coming back too. Of course, the T-Rex is back. So cool to see the T-Rex go up against kind of the new generation dinosaurs that we've come to know. Again, don't want to spoil too much because these moments are just so much fun. Aside from all of these kind of more cosmetic things like big explosions and dinosaurs fighting each other and you know, chasing Chris Pratt down the street and all that kind of stuff, this is a movie that of course does have a really great narrative. As I said, it pays off on all of these ideas that have been promised to us, and it is just such a really great kind of rich thing that we can explore here of what happens when this experiment with dinosaurs has gotten so out of control that it now quite literally threatens humanity. So we have this real kind of human element. It is kind of very timely. Of course, we're at this kind of apex in time at the moment where, you know, you've got global warming and all that kind of stuff that, you know, us as humans really have to kind of have a second thought about to kind of, you know, keep our existence going well into the future. That's kind of tackled in this movie here, but in a roundabout way. Instead of global warming, it's dinosaurs. You know, can the dinosaurs take over the planet and rule again, sort of thing. So it does have this really kind of nice human element into this as well. Of course, there's great human stories here with all of our characters. We get to not only continue the story of Owen and Claire that has been persistent throughout the 2 Jurassic World movies previously, but of course bringing in our legacy characters, we get to explore kind of a bit more of their story now, you know, 30 years down the line. Where are they now in the world, and how do they now connect with each other after all this time under this new enormous pressure of dinosaurs, you know, threatening to wipe out the planet and all of humans and stuff like that. So we do get these great little moments with both sets of casts. I will say that there is a little bit of fan service in this movie because of that, but it's never really entirely on the nose, and it never really outstays its welcome, which is the great thing, because, you know, you come into one of these things and sometimes we've seen it with Star Wars, you know, particularly with the Disney Plus series, where it's just like, hey, here's Luke Skywalker, hey, here's this guy, here's this thing that we all know about. We all know fan service, and we've seen the best and the worst of it. I think Jurassic World Dominion handles it really quite well. As I said, never really outstays its welcome, and it doesn't really feel like these characters have just been thrown in here for the sake of it. You know, they are here for a reason, and they are still existing in this world, and they're brought in as these kind of experts who have dealt with this in the past, and now, like, put your expertise to the test to kind of help us save humanity. And they're brought in this really kind of organic way that doesn't feel, again, too fan servicey. It feels like it does serve the narrative that is being told here. Now, Colin Trevorrow has said from the beginning that he's had this 3-film arc planned out, and this is something that he's planned from the very beginning. So I think it works really, really quite well. That said, I feel like at times it does feel a little bit clunky, particularly when we introduce the legacy characters. Kind of, they come into it on their own. We get little moments with the legacy characters, and then we get moments with Owen and Claire. The movie kind of cuts back and forth between legacy characters and new generation characters for quite a bit of its runtime, and at times it does almost feel like you are watching 2 completely different movies, kind of, not completely different movies, but you're watching 2 separate movies kind of cutting back and forth. I think this could have worked maybe as 2 movies. You do a movie with, like, this never would have happened, and it probably would have been dumb for them to have done it. But I feel like the 2 stories that are being told here, you know, could have been one movie about the legacy characters, one movie about the new generation characters. Of course, kind of towards, you know, maybe the middle kind of back end of the movie, the 2 pairs of characters do meet up, and you get this wild adventure with all of these characters together, and it feels so cool. This is not just like, you know, the finale of the Jurassic World trilogy. It's not just like the kind of end cap of the Jurassic Park franchise. It feels like an event movie. When you see these characters on screen together, you can't help but smile. Like, it is so amazing. It's like seeing the Guardians of the Galaxy meet the Avengers for the first time. I think it just worked really well. Again, there's just a little bit of clunkiness there in that lead up to them kind of meeting, in that it feels like almost 2 separate things, but I do understand you kind of need that time for these characters to develop in their own space before they come together. So I do totally get that. Look, this movie is 2.5 hours long. I feel like it never really overstays its welcome either. It's not too long. I think it's the perfect kind of amount of time to do what it needs to do and no more. You kind of do get to the end though and kind of go, yeah, that was perfect. Like, I don't need more of this right now, and any less would have felt like maybe not enough. I really, really did enjoy it, and I feel like this is a movie that people who have loved Jurassic Park from the beginning are really going to love, and even people who were maybe a little bit lukewarm or just outright did not like Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, I think those people are really going to like it. This does feel like a redemption of this franchise. It brings it back to what we really love about it all, and that is, you know, the action adventure. It's all there, and the human stories. I feel like the second movie kind of lost that a little bit. It lost that kind of great pulpy action adventure stuff, you know, out in the wild. It felt too contained, and it felt like the characters didn't get enough kind of their, you know, their story on the plate. But this movie, it certainly rectifies all of that, and I'm very, very happy to say that I absolutely loved it. This is everything that I really wanted it to be. Before I reveal my score, I have partnered with Audible to offer a 30-day free trial, which includes 1 free audiobook. If you've ever been interested in the original Jurassic Park novels by Michael Crichton, they are here in audio form. You can also check out the fantastic The Science of Jurassic World, which helps us unearth how the science fiction of the Jurassic World franchise inspired the evolution of dinosaur science. These are all here on Audible, and you can finally check one of them out with your free 30-day trial. Just head to audible.com/DaveLeeDownUnder or click through the link below. With that, I'll be giving Jurassic World Dominion a 4 out of 5. Jurassic World Dominion is the big, bombastic, action-fueled finale this trilogy and overall franchise deserves. And at that, don't forget to weigh in down below in the comments with your thoughts on Jurassic World Dominion. If you've seen the movie, if you haven't seen the movie, I want to know how excited are you for this one. Of course, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. If you want to check out my interviews with Colin Trevorrow and DeWanda, those are linked up on the screen right now. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.